My friend, in this life, you will encounter people who do not respect you. They will look down on you, dismiss your words, and question your worth. But let me remind you of something powerful. Your value is not determined by how others see you, but by how you see yourself. You were created with a purpose, designed with intention, and destined for greatness. So when disrespect comes your way, do not be discouraged. Let it become the fuel that pushes you forward. The first thing you must do is stand firm in your identity. When a person knows who they are, they do not need validation from others. Eagles do not ask for permission to soar. They simply spread their wings and rise. You must remind yourself daily that your worth does not decrease because someone refuses to acknowledge it. And then you must refuse to react with bitterness. Disrespect is a test of your character, a test of your patience, a test of your wisdom. Many people fail this test because they allow emotions to take over. But you are not like the rest. You do not lower yourself to the level of those who dishonor you. Instead, you rise above. You respond with dignity because you understand that respect is not just something you receive, it is something you give, even when it is not given in return. Next, you must set boundaries. You teach people how to treat you by what you allow. If you tolerate disrespect, you invite it. But when you establish clear boundaries, you send a message. I honor myself too much to accept anything less than what aligns with my purpose. There's a difference between humility and allowing yourself to be walked over. Humility is strength under control. It is knowing when to walk away, when to correct, and when to remain silent. But above all, you must focus on your assignment. Your destiny is too important to be distracted by those who do not see your worth. You are not here to win everyone's approval. You are here to fulfill a purpose. If you spend your energy trying to prove yourself to those who refuse to see, you will waste the very time that should be invested in building your future. Let them talk. Let them misunderstand you. Keep moving forward. Your worth is not defined by others. Stand firm in who you are. Too many people spend their lives waiting for someone else to validate them, to affirm their existence, to tell them they matter. But if you live for the approval of people, you will die from their rejection. You must come to a place where you recognize that your identity is not based on the opinions of others, but on the truth of who you were created to be. When you know who you are, no insult, no rejection, no misunderstanding can shake you. The world is filled with voices, each one trying to define you. Some will say you are not good enough. Others will try to limit you based on your past. There will be those who remind you of your failures, your shortcomings, your mistakes. But the question is, what voice will you listen to? Will you listen to those who doubt you, or will you listen to the truth within you? The greatest tragedy in life is not rejection, it is self-rejection. When you believe the lie spoken about you, you hand over your power. You give others the authority to dictate your value. But when you stand firm in your identity, you take back that power. Every person who has ever done something great had to overcome the voices of doubt and disrespect. Some of the greatest leaders in history were once told they would never amount to anything. Some of the most influential people were once dismissed, overlooked, and disregarded. But their strength was not in fighting back against those who doubted them. It was in knowing who they were despite the doubt. They did not need approval to move forward. They did not require permission to be great. They simply embraced their identity and walked in it. Confidence in who you are does not come from arrogance. It comes from understanding. The lion does not need to roar to prove it is a lion. It simply carries itself with the awareness of what it is. In the same way, you do not need to argue with people about your worth. You do not need to convince them to respect you. Respect is not demanded, it is commanded by how you carry yourself. When you truly know your value, you do not beg people to acknowledge it. You walk in it. There will always be people who do not see your worth. Some will ignore you out of ignorance, others out of jealousy, and some simply because they do not have the capacity to recognize greatness. But their inability to see does not change what is there. The sun does not cease to shine because someone closes their eyes. The truth of who you are remains, whether others accept it or not. When you walk into a room, you must walk with the awareness of your identity, not in pride, not in arrogance, but in certainty. When you know who you are, you do not shrink to fit into places you have outgrown. You do not lower yourself to gain acceptance. You do not remain silent when your voice is needed. You stand, you speak, you move with intention because you are secure in yourself. People will test your confidence. They will challenge your belief in yourself. They will say things to see if they can shake you. But your strength is in remaining unmoved. When you know your worth, you do not react emotionally to every insult. You do not seek revenge. You do not waste your energy proving yourself to those who refuse to see. Instead, you continue forward, knowing that your identity is not up for debate. This world will always try to define you, but it is up to you to decide who you are. If you do not define yourself, others will do it for you. And they will always place you below your true value. You must take control of your identity. You must remind yourself daily of who you are, what you carry, and what you were created to do. You must live with the conviction that you are enough just as you are. Do not let emotions lead you. Respond with wisdom and dignity. In every situation where you face disrespect, there is a choice to be made. You can react out of emotion, allowing anger, frustration, and hurt to dictate your response, or you can choose to operate from a place of wisdom. The way you handle disrespect says more about you than it does about the person who is being disrespectful. When you allow yourself to be controlled by emotions, you hand over your power. But when you remain calm and intentional in your response, you take control of the situation and maintain your dignity. People often say or do things to provoke a reaction. Some will test your patience, looking for a weakness, hoping to see you lose control. They know that if they can trigger an emotional response, they can manipulate the outcome. But wisdom teaches that not every battle is worth fighting and not every insult requires a response. There is strength in restraint. There is power in silence. When you learn to master your emotions, you become unshakable. No matter what is said about you, no matter how someone tries to belittle you, their words lose power the moment you choose not to be affected by them. A wise person understands that reacting in anger or frustration rarely leads to a positive outcome. When you lash out, when you respond impulsively, you give the other person control over your behavior. But when you pause, when you take a breath, when you allow wisdom to lead, you make decisions that reflect maturity and strength. Dignity is not about proving yourself to others. It is about maintaining self-respect in every situation. It is about walking away when necessary, speaking with purpose, and handling every encounter with grace. Many people believe that responding with wisdom means allowing others to mistreat them, but that is far from the truth. Wisdom does not mean being passive. It means being strategic. There are times when silence is the best response, and there are times when you must address an issue directly. However, the way you address it matters. If you speak out of frustration, your words lose impact. If you speak with composure and clarity, your words carry weight. You must choose your battles wisely, knowing that every moment spent engaging with negativity is a moment taken away from your purpose. One of the greatest tests of character is how you handle disrespect. It is easy to be kind when everyone treats you well, but true strength is revealed in moments of challenge. When someone dishonors you, your first instinct may be to defend yourself, to prove them wrong, to make them feel the way they made you feel. But wisdom reminds you that you do not need to stoop to their level. You do not need to fight every battle. Sometimes the most powerful response is simply continuing to walk in excellence. When you control your reactions, you also protect your peace. Emotional outbursts drain your energy and shift your focus away from what truly matters. But when you remain steady, when you refuse to let someone else's negativity pull you down, you preserve your inner strength. You maintain a mindset of growth and forward movement. You understand that no one has the power to take away your peace, unless you give it to them. It is not weakness to remain composed. It is mastery. It is not cowardice to walk away from unnecessary conflicts. It is wisdom. The one who can control their emotions is always more powerful than the one who allows their emotions to control them. The ability to remain calm, to think before responding, to choose dignity over impulse. This is what sets apart those who lead from those who follow. You teach people how to treat you by what you allow and what you reject. Life will always present you with people who test your boundaries, whether intentionally or unintentionally. Some will push limits to see how much they can get away with, while others will overstep simply because they do not know where you stand. If you do not set clear boundaries, you will find yourself constantly feeling disrespected, undervalued, and exhausted. The way people treat you is often a reflection of what you tolerate. If you allow yourself to be walked over, others will continue to do so. But when you establish firm boundaries, you communicate a message that you respect yourself and expect the same from others. Boundaries are not about shutting people out or building walls of isolation. They're about creating a structure that protects your peace, your time, and your self-worth. When you fail to set boundaries, you invite unnecessary stress into your life. You open the door to relationships that drain you instead of strengthening you. You allow disrespect to become a pattern instead of an exception. But when you stand firm in what you will and will not accept, you create an environment where only those who honor and respect you can remain. Many people struggle with setting boundaries because they fear rejection. They worry that if they speak up, they will lose relationships, that others will see them as difficult or uncooperative. But the truth is, anyone who does not respect your boundaries does not truly value you. People who genuinely care about you will not be offended when you set limits. They will understand and honor them. It is not your job to make everyone comfortable at the expense of your well-being. It is not your responsibility to endure mistreatment just to maintain peace. True peace comes when you are firm in your values and do not allow anyone to compromise them. One of the greatest signs of self-respect is the ability to say no. No to people who take advantage of you, no to situations that drain you, no to anything that does not align with your purpose. Saying no is not an act of selfishness, it is an act of wisdom. Every time you say yes to something that does not serve you, you are saying no to something that does. Boundaries are about making intentional choices that prioritize your well-being over the expectations of others. Some people will test your boundaries repeatedly to see if you truly mean what you say. They will push, they will guilt trip, they will try to manipulate you into giving in. But consistency is key. If you enforce your boundaries one day and ignore them the next, people will not take them seriously. You must be unwavering in your standards. When you say no, mean it. When you set a limit, stick to it. When you decide that a certain behavior is unacceptable, do not make exceptions. People respect consistency, and the more you stand firm, the less they will challenge you. It is not enough to set boundaries, you must also communicate them. Many times, people do not know they have crossed a line because you never told them where the line was. You cannot expect others to respect limits that you have not clearly defined. Be direct, be clear. Do not assume that people will automatically understand your expectations. Speak up when necessary, and do so with confidence. Your voice is your power, and using it to establish your boundaries is one of the greatest acts of self-respect. The way you carry yourself also plays a role in how people treat you. If you act as though you do not deserve respect, people will treat you accordingly. But when you walk with confidence, when you exude self-respect, when you hold yourself to a high standard, others will follow. Boundaries are not just about what you say. They are about how you present yourself, how you respond to mistreatment, and how you consistently show up in your own life. Do not let disrespect distract you from your destiny. In life, there will always be people who try to undermine your purpose, belittle your efforts, and make you feel as though you are not capable of achieving great things. If you allow yourself to be consumed by their negativity, you will lose focus on the bigger picture. Your assignment in life is too important to be delayed by the opinions of those who do not see your worth. Every second you spend reacting to disrespect is a second taken away from your growth, your vision, and your progress. Disrespect is often a tactic used to pull you away from your calling. It is a trap designed to get you to waste your energy on things that do not serve you. The moment you engage in unnecessary arguments, the moment you try to prove yourself to people who refuse to see your value, you have already lost time that could have been invested in something productive. Your future is not shaped by how well you respond to negativity, but by how well you remain committed to your goals despite it. Every successful person has had to ignore critics, overcome doubters, and rise above those who tried to pull them down. The difference between those who succeed and those who do not is the ability to stay focused on what truly matters. If you look at the greatest leaders, the most influential figures, the people who have left a lasting impact, you will see that they did not allow disrespect to deter them. They understood that their purpose was far greater than the opinions of those who could not see their vision. When you let people's words affect you, you give them control over your emotions and your direction. You allow them to dictate how you feel, how you move, and what you focus on. But when you stay committed to your path, when you refuse to be distracted by negativity, you reclaim your power. No one has the ability to take you off course unless you allow them to. The moment you recognize this, you will stop giving attention to every voice that speaks against you. Your energy is one of your most valuable resources. Where you direct it determines the quality of your life. If you waste it on petty conflicts, on proving yourself to those who will never be convinced, on reacting to every insult or slight, you drain yourself of the strength needed to accomplish what you were meant to do. But if you channel that energy into your work, your growth, and your purpose, you will see extraordinary results. Some people thrive on causing distractions. They intentionally bring negativity into your life because they do not want to see you succeed. They know that as long as they can get you to focus on them, you will not have time to focus on yourself. Do not give them that satisfaction. Do not allow them to pull you into their chaos. Stay centered, stay disciplined. Keep your eyes on the vision that was placed inside of you. There will be moments when you feel the urge to defend yourself, to respond, to put people in their place. But wisdom teaches that not every battle is worth fighting. Some battles are meant to be ignored. Some conflicts are designed to steal your time. And some distractions are disguised as opportunities to prove yourself. You must learn to discern what is worth your attention and what is simply a waste of time. Your destiny is too great to be delayed by disrespect. Your purpose is too valuable to be derailed by negativity. Every time you face opposition, remind yourself of where you are going. Keep your feet firmly planted on the path ahead and refuse to look back at those who try to pull you away from it. Invest energy in developing yourself, not proving yourself. One of the greatest mistakes people make is wasting time trying to convince others of their worth. When you focus on proving yourself to people who do not respect you, you divert attention from what truly matters: your growth, your purpose, and your progress. The desire for validation can become a distraction that pulls you away from the work required to build the future you desire. Instead of seeking approval, focus on becoming the best version of yourself, knowing that true recognition comes from results, not explanations. People will always have opinions about you. Some will doubt your abilities, some will dismiss your potential, and some will criticize without even knowing you. If you spend your life responding to every criticism, you will never have time to move forward. The energy you waste trying to convince people of your value could be used to develop your skills, expand your knowledge, and elevate your life. You do not need to prove yourself to anyone. Your growth and accomplishments will speak louder than any argument ever could. The need for validation is rooted in insecurity. When you truly understand your worth, you no longer feel the need to explain it to others. A tree does not have to prove that it bears fruit. It simply grows and the fruit becomes evident. Likewise, your focus should be on becoming so skilled, so knowledgeable, and so successful in your field that your work does the talking for you. People may question you now, but they will not be able to ignore the results when they see them. Every minute spent trying to convince someone of your abilities is a minute taken away from actually developing them. Imagine if the greatest innovators, leaders, and visionaries spent their time arguing with those who doubted them. They would never have built the things that changed the world. The most successful people do not concern themselves with opinions, they concern themselves with progress. They do not seek validation, they seek mastery. They do not explain, they execute. Growth is a personal journey. It is not about proving yourself to others, but about fulfilling your potential. The person you should be working to impress is not the one who doubts you, but the one you see in the mirror every day. The goal is to be better than you were yesterday, to refine your skills, to expand your knowledge, and to evolve into the person you were meant to be. When you shift your focus from validation to growth, you will find that respect and recognition come naturally. One of the most powerful things you can do is let your success be your response. Silence is often louder than words. When you stop arguing, stop explaining, and simply focus on excelling, the same people who doubted you will be forced to acknowledge your progress. Your results will remove all doubt, and those who once dismissed you will have no choice but to take notice. There is freedom in letting go of the need to prove yourself. It allows you to move without fear, to take risks without hesitation, and to pursue your goals with full confidence. When you are no longer burdened by the opinions of others, you become unstoppable. Your energy is no longer wasted on unnecessary battles, but is instead channeled into creating, building, and achieving. Your purpose is too great to be delayed by the need for approval. Your growth is too important to be hindered by distractions. Every time you feel the urge to prove yourself, redirect that energy into becoming better. Work in silence, improve daily, and let your achievements be the only proof you ever need. Achieve so much that those who doubted you become irrelevant. In life, there will always be people who do not see your value, who underestimate your potential, and who try to belittle your efforts. If you spend your time reacting to them, you give them power over your emotions and your focus. But when you channel your energy into growth, development, and success, their opinions become insignificant. The best response to doubt and disrespect is undeniable achievement. People often waste too much time seeking recognition from those who will never give it. They chase after validation, hoping that one day the same people who dismiss them will acknowledge their worth. But true success is not about proving people wrong. It is about fulfilling your purpose regardless of what others think. When you focus on excelling, when you commit yourself to your goals without distraction, you reach a level where the opinions of others no longer matter. There is a certain power in silence. When you stop explaining yourself, when you stop arguing with those who doubt you and instead put all your energy into building something great, you shift the narrative. At first, people may mock you. They may say you are wasting your time. They may compare you to others and tell you that you will never make it. But over time, as you stay consistent and dedicated to your work, the results begin to speak for themselves. Suddenly, those same people who doubted you find themselves watching your success unfold, unable to ignore what you have accomplished. Disrespect and doubt are not obstacles. They are fuel. They were told they were not good enough, not smart enough, not talented enough. But instead of being discouraged, they used that negativity as motivation to push harder, to improve, and to rise above expectations. They understood that the only way to silence doubt is through undeniable results. You do not need to announce your progress. You do not need to demand recognition. Just keep working, keep growing, and keep refining your craft. The moment you reach a level of mastery, the noise of criticism fades into the background. People do not argue with results. They may have opinions in the beginning, but when they see consistency, discipline, and excellence, their words lose power. Success is not about revenge. It is about elevation. It is about reaching a point where the negativity of others no longer affects you because you are too focused on your journey. You become so consumed with building something meaningful that you no longer have time to entertain distractions. When you are busy excelling, the voices of doubt become whispers that do not reach your ears. Your achievements will create opportunities that words never could. Doors will open, not because someone finally acknowledged you, but because you remained committed despite the doubt. The right people will recognize your value, and the wrong people will become irrelevant. The best way to respond to those who do not respect you is not to fight for their approval, but to succeed in such a way that their opinions no longer carry weight. Your focus should always be on progression, not reaction. Every moment spent proving yourself is a moment taken away from improving yourself. Shift your energy from defense to advancement. Work in silence. Achieve with consistency. And let your impact make the statement for you. The day will come when those who disregarded you will realize they never had the power to stop you. By then you will be too far ahead to even notice. True strength is not found in reacting to disrespect, but in rising above it. You were never meant to waste your energy proving yourself to those who refuse to see your worth. Your time is too valuable, your purpose too great, and your potential too limitless to be derailed by the opinions of those who do not matter. When you master your emotions, set firm boundaries, stay focused on your destiny, invest in your growth, and achieve so much that doubt becomes irrelevant, you elevate yourself beyond the reach of negativity. The greatest response to disrespect is undeniable success. Walk with confidence, move with purpose, and let your results speak louder than any words ever could.